This question says a point moves with a constant acceleration and v1, v2 and v3 denote the average velocities in three successive intervals t1, t2 and t3 of time. Which of the following relations is correct? So it talks about average velocities. So let's say this is the total path. This part is t1, somewhere here it is t2 and this is t3. Average velocity here is v1, average velocity here is v2 and average velocity here is v3. So I'll say this is s1, this is s2 and this is s3. This is what is given to us. So it says a point moves with a constant acceleration and v1, v2. So these are the things given. Let's say initial velocity of this is u. Excuse me. Then I can say S1 equal to V1 into T1. So S1 is equal to how much? V1 into T1, because V1 is average velocity into time gives us the total displacement. So in other ways I can write S1 also can be written as UT1 plus half A into T1 square. This is S1. Similarly, S1 plus S2. That is equal to how much? This can be written as V1 T1 plus V2 T2. So that can be written as U into T1 plus T2 plus half A into T1 plus T2 whole square. This is what we are going to get for S1 plus S2, that is V1 T1 plus V2 T2. Now I need to get expressions where V1, V2 are independent of time, so that I can get only V1, V2 on one side, LHS. So here I can write V1 equal to how much? S1 by T1. So what is V1 equal to? I have V1 equal to S1 by T1. So that can be written as S1 by T1 would be UT1 plus half A into T1 square by T1, or that will give me V1 equal to how much? U plus half A T1. This is what we're getting. Now let's look at the next part. So S1 plus S2 is how much? V1 T1 plus V2 T2. So what is S2 equal to? S2 equal to it can be written as V1 T1 plus S1 plus S2 minus S1. So that can be written as U into T1 plus T2 plus half A into T1 plus T2 whole square minus S1 is how much? S1 is U into T1 plus half A into T1 square. So in this can be further written as U into, because if I take out T1, I'll be left with U into T1 plus half A into, I have T1 plus T2 whole square here and T1 square here. So this can be written as T1 plus T2 minus T1 into T1 plus T2 plus T2. Sorry, plus T1. So I've taken A, this I taken it as A and this is B. A minus B into A plus B gives me this expression. So from this, what do I know? I know S2. So this S2 can be further written as UT1. I'll keep it the same way. Plus A by 2 into T1 plus T2 minus T1 cancels off. I'll be left with. So here also T1 plus T2. This T2 would stay and T1 will cancel. I'll be left with UT2 plus A by 2 into T2 into 2T1 plus T2. 2T1 plus T2. This is what we are left with. But what is S2 equal to? S2 equal to V2 into T2. So V2 into T2 equal to UT2 plus A by 2 T2 into 2T1 plus T2. So from this I'll get V2 equal to U plus A by 2 into 2T1 plus T2. This is the expression for V2. I need to find V2 minus V1. So let's do that in the next slide. So V2 equal to how much? U plus A by 2 into 2T1 plus T2, and V1 equal to U plus half A T1. From the previous slide, we have V1 equal to U plus A by 2 into T1, and V2 equal to U plus A by 2 into 2T1 plus T2. So what is V2 minus V1 from this? Yo cancels. A by 2, if I take out common, I'll be left with 2T1 plus T2 minus T1. Or I'll get V2 minus V1 equal to A by 2 into T1 plus T2. Similarly, I'll get V3 minus V2 equal to A by 2 into T3 plus T2, right? So dividing these equations, what will we get? We'll get V2 minus V1 by V3 minus V2 equal to T1 plus T2 by T3 plus T2. So take out negative sign, I'll be left with V1 minus V2 by V3 minus V2 equal to T1 plus T2 by T3 plus T2. So the right answer is D. Hope you could follow this, and thank you very much.